Good evening, everyone. Myself, Sahil. I'm currently pursuing BTech. Pro- I'm in third year. I have a keen interest in AI. I've been doing very research and very, things in AI and its works. Recently, I've discovered the new cloud approach that is being used by the Azure AI Studio, and it is easy to build anything or any models with the help of Azure AI Studio. So let's get into it. So I will share a screen. Uh, Let me 1 second here. So today we are going to build our custom model using the Azure AI Studio. So Azure AI Studio is a platform where you can easily build any model, or you can easily use the machine learning algorithms and automated machine learning algorithms. So this is the interface of the Azure AI Studio. Here you can see that there are multiple things. For to use the Azure AI Studio, you need to first have an account, or you need to set up your environment. To set up your environment, you can easily do it from the top right button for try Azure for free, or you can use the here at build with Azure AI Studio. There are one thing when you are making the Azure AI Studio account. The first is that Azure AI Studio is gets offers two account creation. First is you can use the credit card or debit card to make an account. You will get a $200 benefit with it. And the second is Azure Pay as you go. It is a prepaid type service. You can use the Azure Pay as you go also, but I recommend you go with the Azure Students account, which also gives a $100 credit for, and the $200 credit. The student account is restricted, limited to the use, but for our work, it can be easy to work. So let's get into it. There are four things in the Azure AI Studio. The first is model catalog, model benchmark, prompt catalog, and the Azure OpenAI. So this all things helps in building Azure AI Studio models, and we are going to get a brief study about it in the next slide. So first is Azure Catalog. Azure Catalog is a pre-built AI model collection. You can use many types of Azure collections such as the OpenAI sources, Llama model, Meta models, and some of the repository of the Hugging Face models, such as the GPT-3, GPT 4.0 of OpenAI, Claude AI, and etc. The model catalog also has the models for AI models such as the for image, natural language processing, predictive analysis, and etc. Model catalog is basically, you can say, as a place where you can find different types of model structured together, and in a place where you can easily use and make associate it in your projects. The second thing is that having the pre-built model in a platform, you can easily use it. You don't have to start your work from scratch to build a AI model, train your model from the data set, test it, etc. You can get a pre-built model that can be used to easily fulfill your work and etc. The models can have a different types, such as the Azure 3 array, such as the GPT 3.5 only use text complications, but the GPT 4 can use the image and etc. You can use vision models and etc. For the model benchmark, you can say that it is a performance matrix. It measures the performances of the different models at a different data sets. The performance matrices can give you the evaluation and accuracy of the models based on the desired data set that you are willing to use in your model. You can compare the model's performance, informed decision. You can also get the coherence data sets, accuracy of the model, such as the accuracy of GPT 3.5 on your desired model, on your desired data set. the way how the model performs in your desired data set. If it is good, you can use it. If it not, you can change it to other models. The model benchmark help you to understand, or you can say distinguish between different models to achieve, or you can get a informed decision about the data analysis and etc. The coherence also gives us the understanding about the model language and its work and how it is performing based on your data sets, the informed CSVs and etc. For the prompt catalog, you can use prompt catalog is basically the desired way of how the model is going to first perform. It is a collection of predefined prompts. You can use prompts such as the chat GPT prompt. When you first going to use a chat GPT, you can, when you first prompt, when your the first prompt is going to be defining the defining its works and etc. The prompt catalog also gives you the pipeline structure of how the AI model is going to work. It is a pre-built model defined by the other users, or that can use to quickly generate a task. The leverage capabilities of the advanced language. This means that you can use different types of prompt language. For example, if you're making a playground, no, not playground. For example, if you're making a AI model, you can use the prompt catalog for having the model to work on a particular language. Let's say if you're making a model for a particular language of JavaScript, so you can design your model in terms of the JavaScript particular basis and etc. For and here we have a Azure OpenAI. So basically, Azure OpenAI helps you to distinguish between different types of language models. Can easily integrate with the other Azure services. The other Azure services will be like Azure Virtual Machines, Azure ML, Automated Machine Learning algorithms, Azure Vision, Azure Translation, and etc. You can use Azure Open Studio things for the visual image generation and from distinguishing text between the images and etc. You can also use the Azure OpenAI to build and deploy sophisticated AI applications, such as the using Azure OpenAI models for having a text translation from a image, or having a text translation from different types of PDFs and large CSV files, Excel files, and etc. And the last is Azure AI services. Azure AI services offers you the vision, speech, and language services such as the text analytics, language understanding. You can integrate your models with the other models, AI services like the uh, text to speech service, vision services, language services, speech recognition, synthesis, and etc. You can also infuse your solution with AI capabilities. You can, if you are building a AI model for, let's say, image to text generation, you can associate the vision and speech service to your model. The model will analyze the image and will output the particular image or text, etc. The language, the, the language that the model is used can be easily be analyzed by the AI services. So now let's have a look in the Azure AI website. So this is the Azure AI website. Let's this. This is the Azure AI account from the topmost button. Get started with the Azure AI or try Azure for free. I've already made an account, so I'm going to direct click the build with Azure AI Studio. So let's go to it. Here you can see that there are the things that I have mentioned: model catalog, model benchmark, prompt catalog, Azure OpenAI, and Azure services. So the model catalog, as I said, it is a collection of pre-built models, and here you can see there are different types of models such as the Jamba instruct such as the ChatGPT models, ChatGPT 4, 4.0, 35 Turbo, Microsoft models, Meta models such as Llama, and some other Hugging Face models. Here you can see the Hugging Face repositories and etc. You can also use the NVIDIA models. NVIDIA model can be used for text generation and the image generation. NVIDIA models usually uses a high GPU value, which is not admissible in your personal PC or etc. You have to use a better performance PC that has a high GPT, high GPU. For model benchmarks, you can compare different types of model and its performances. Wait a second. So here we can see that model accuracy types of models such as the Mistral, Social, Open Book, and etc. You can also select the particular models here. Let me say that GPT. You can select it from here. GPT. Let me use book. Here you can see the performance of it between different aspects. Here you can see GPT 35, GPT 35 8.0, and etc. Let me set different models such as here Llama 2. I have to, here is the different types of models. Here is the pre-built accuracy model displayed here. There you can see the ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT Turbo, ChatGPT 4.0. This is the newly launched ChatGPT 4.0, coherence of the different models and etc. You can also collect the collection between, like we distinguish between Azure AI models. This is the Azure models, Microsoft model, Meta models, and you can choose. You can compare different types of models here to get to get yourself a perfect model, or you can say a suitable model for your work. The prompt catalog here, it's going to say it is a sample prompt you can use for a model to for starting for a project. You can also customize it based on your scenario. You can evaluate based on your things. These are the examples such as the it is a chatbot model for the travel assistant, real estate agents models and listing. I've seen a good model here such as generate blog model. Here is the system message, that is default message provided by the Azure AI Studio. You can change it depending on your things. You can copy it or you can open it in the playground also. Playground is for me is not really available right now, but I will see check it. Azure OpenAI. This is the Azure OpenAI resources. You have to first create yourself resources, or you can use the resources. I have already created the resources here, such as this is from the Azure student subscription. As I said, the Azure student subscription is very limited and restricted. So for this, that is why I can't be able to make all the things. But let me show you how to make a project. When you go to home, you can see all the projects or the deployed things that you are already done. So you can create your projects from tapping here new project, or you can use other projects. Let me create a new project. You can use any name and we use a demo. You have to create a hub, or you can use different. Let me create a hub name anything. You have to choose your subscription, resource group, and location. For choosing your location, it is important to choose a location that is nearest to you, and also the use of your data set, because the location selection based on your data sets and etc. And you must choose the location that is easily available and beneficial for you. Uh, we also- and you can create a project next. And this, I've already created a project here with demo 1. You let it just open. I'm sorry for the network model get logged. Let me just open again. I think it's not working, but let's look at it. You can see here there are many shortcut things you can use to build yourself, such as the build your AI assistant. You can just tap here. It is going to get yourself in to the next slide. You can also use prompt in playgrounds, view deployments. Here are the different types of cutting edge models you can use, such as the Microsoft models, Azure AI models. The most famous one is the Azure AI model because it has been trained on many data sets. Its accuracy is high, but you can also use the Microsoft models as they are developed for a specific task. It is will be easier for you to use it. These are the Azure AI services that I was talking about. You can use the speech, language, vision plus document, content analysis. These speech model can be used for text to speech. It can generate a speech with the help of AI. You can just pass the text, it will transform it into a voice. You can try it out from the video gallery and etc. Real. It is also a good thing that it is a real-time text-to-speech. There is no latency between conversion of the text or speech or vice versa. It is a real-time. All things will be done in real time. That is the benefit of the Azure AI Studio. You can also, let's have a look on Azure. Azure is basically the uh, where you can use the virtual models and etc. Here the virtual machine that you can use with Azure. You have to sign in. Let me just sign in. Here is the Azure main portal where you can use anything. Here is the thing that machine learning, Azure AI services, Azure cost management, databases, and etc. The first thing about the Azure portal is that you can also create a virtual machine. Virtual machine is basically a you can get a virtual computer that is located in any location. You can choose the location for East US, Central India, or between anything. Here you can create a virtual machine. There's Azure virtual machine, and let's create Azure virtual machine. And from here you can choose different types of specs. Just you have to first choose your subscription, give yourself a name. Let's just say Sahil Demo. You have to create a one. Sorry, yes, Sahil Demo. It will validate it, and after that creation, you have to give yourself a virtual machine name. Let's say hi. You can choose the region. As I said, you can choose anything. The region will decide your how your model is going to work, how your machine is going to work, and what will be the location of the machine. If you use East US, your machine will the virtual IP of the machine will be located in the US. You can use Africa and etc. I'm going to use East US. You can here you can use any of the what operating system that you can use and Windows, Ubuntu, etc. The main thing about the virtual machine is that these are the virtual machine that does not have a GPU inbuilt. You have to integrate the GPU from the outside, or you have to deploy the GPU from the outside. The virtual machine here, will have a CPU with up to a 2 core, 4 core, depending on the configuration we are going to choose. The virtual machine will gonna cost a bit. You can see all the sizes of the VM. The the particular size that you're going to choose will decide how much it is going to charge. The virtual machine is cost a lot, but it is easier for you to build yourself, and you can use it for Azure AI development. If you don't have a laptop or PC with a good specs, you can create yourself a virtual machine. It is not a harmful. It will prevent your personal PC from virus and etc. And apart from that, you can also use uh, Azure AI for different types of things, such as the Azure cognitive services. Here with the Azure cognitive services, you can use Azure AI for uh, searches such as the vision, speech. These are the things that I was talking about. Azure free account and Azure pay go. Azure pay go is a prepaid account, and Azure free account is gives you a $200 credit, which you can use within a 13 days. These are virtual machines. Data 12 databases is where you will store yourself a data set for the model to train. You can also use Azure blob storage, which gives you a 5 GB redundant storage, and you can also visit the Azure AI website where you can explore different types of things. Let me show you an example of the Azure Vision Studio. Azure Vision Studio is basically where you can use the image to extract some valuable insights. You can also give a data set for displaying different types of insights and etc. Model you can use. You can also remove backgrounds from the images. You can give caption to the image. You can also extract tags from the images. This is basically we extract information from the images. The vision or cognitive search of the Azure AI is uses the image to extract the valuable insights from it. They extract image. Here you just have to upload yourself a file, or you can take a photo. Here, just upload yourself a file. I don't have this in a file, but there are some demo. Let's just use this credit card. You just have to upload it. Here it is going to gives us the output of the text between the images. Just wait for a moment. Here is the extraction of the text from the image. The things is that it is easier to deploy, easier to associate it with your model, and it is beneficial that you don't have to make everything from scratch. You can just associate things with it easily. You can also let me example. Here's the national identity card image of a particular person. It is going to extract all the valuable insights, all the text that it can recognize. Like here's the result of it. You can see it is exactly the same. It is trained on this data sets. You can give it your personal data sets, and you can test it for your own. You can also see the API that you can associate it with your projects and models. Here are the documentation if you are not, if you are facing a difficulty. There are different many things. Let me just get some remove background images. You can also upload yourself a file here. Here will be your output. This is the sample example. This image is going, the background from this image is going to be removed, and the output is going to be here. It's going to take some time to get yourself a output, but the output is going to be rendered fast as it is a virtual platform. Wait for a second. I think it's going to take some time. Let's just get to another thing. There are some you cannot you can try it yourself. There are many things: facial analysis, face, image analysis, and etc. Optical character recognition and things. The main thing is that Azure AI Studio, you can use it for deployment of your own custom model. You can make your own co-pilot models. You can use the all hub document where you can see all the deployed thing that you have made. It is a dashboard for yourself where you can see all the things that you have done with your Azure AI Studio. And here you can see all the resources that I have made. Here the first thing I have made with my Azure subscription. You can create a new hub, name yourself, choose your choose the location depending on yourself. I'm going to choose South India, and it is going to some take time for validating resources. After that, you can just easily click next, and it is going to finish yourself, and it is going to take 2 to 3 minutes to deploy it. But after the review statement, it is easy to deploy. And the other thing is the model catalog. You can use model catalog. Mm, let's just load. Here's the ChatGPT 4 model. Here you can deploy it. I'm not having the current space in my Azure Azure subscription, so I'm not able to deploy it. But if you having a credit card made account or Pago account, you can just deploy it, deploy the account, deploy the model, go to the prompt catalog, add your model, associate with it your project, and you are good to go to use it. You can also create yourself a chat completion models. Mm, is the preview such as the chatbot. This is the system message, or you can say the conversation between the AI and yourself. This is the default message that has been pre-built or defined by the user. You can integrate it with your model, associate it with your model, and your model will be going to work like this. When your first user is going to open your chatbot, this is the first thing that is going to visible, or you can see the prompt that is first. This is the first prompt that is going to be there. After, if the user enters this particular prompt, the AI will going to be reply with the specific set of statement. You can easily modify it, modify the system message and in the playgrounds. Azure Open Studies, you can create yourself an Azure create yourself an Azure OpenAI resources associated with your and with your playground and also. Let's just have a try chatbot. Mm, This is the playground. When you made a AI studio, this is the playground where you can train your mm, train your model and make it more efficient and train it on your data sets and etc. I don't have the current capacity of the subscription to use the Azure OpenAI. You can just enable it using the making a subscription for by having a subscription of Pago, PSG Go. And for the assistant model, You can use the assessment deploys. You can deploy yourself a model. Here you can see you can create yourself a model. Let's say ChatGPT, and you can create yourself. You can deploy yourself a model. You can also deploy 2 or 3 models at a same time. You just have to deploy yourself a model. You can use different types of models, search between the models, and also after the model deployment, you can just integrate it with your data set, test your data set, and the model will get yourself a better understanding. After that, you can also check yourself a model here. You can choose the model matrices. I'm going to choose llama, 2 types of llama models. Data set, you can choose open book and social IQ. Here is the model accuracy for the different data sets that I have choose. You can also choose the matrices. Let me choose accuracy and fluency, and it is going to show me the accuracy and fluency of the 2 models. The accuracy of the llama 270 is 0.811, and the accuracy of llama 270 chat is 0.6. So here you can say that the first llama model is more accurate than the previous one, and it is not going to be same. It differs based on the particular data set. You can choose yourself a data set desired for yourself. You can also choose the you can also choose a collection of different models. Let's just say OpenAI and Meta. It is going to show you all the accuracy between the different types of models, such as the Meta and Azure OpenAI. So let's go to the home page. You can here is the shortcut for the playground you can use, and evaluation monitoring. You can also go to the prompt flow. The prompt flow is basically a thing where you can design yourself a prompt in a flow chart where in which a structure the algorithm is going to work. You can check the documentation here, and here is the link. It will show you how to create yourself a prompt flow chart and etc. So this is the prompt flow chart that I was talking about. You can see the input, equivalence, and etc. You can also choose yourself different types of sets you can add here. You can choose different types of 2D matrix, 2D models, and etc. The flow chart is going to help you to distinguish between how your model is going to work, how the data is going to split, how much data is going to be used for training your model, and how much is going to use for data set testing. So you can choose the different types of prompt flow. There are many pre-built prompt flow. You can also build your own prompt flow and etc. Mm, let's go to Azure Studio, Azure AI services. This is the Azure AI service interface. You can see the Azure OpenAI account, Azure Search, Computer Vision, Translate, and etc. You can create yourself a account, or you can view it. This is the same thing as I told for the Azure virtual machine. You have to give yourself a region, resources, and it is good to go. You have to choose yourself a batch. You can make it easily. The other thing is AI search, translation. For translation, it can be easily created. You can associate it with your model. You just have to deploy it from here and associate the API key or the model with your desired models. Azure AI services. Here is the Azure AI service that I was created. It has been running successfully. It is a it is right now, it doesn't charge me anything because I choose the free subscription. You can choose yourself a subscription based on the uh, desired capacity of the model. The capacity of the model based on the GPU, the graphical processing unit. How much your model is going to use the graphic GPU in your training data set. The GPU is the main thing for the Azure AI, for the AI model to work. GPU basically is a thing that gives you a parallel computation between the data sets. The data set can be analyzed in a parallel way, which means it's going to be faster, easier, and more accurate than the other model, which such as the CPU, which uses a ready queue to perform its task. It performs one task at a time. It doesn't use it doesn't perform two tasks at the same time, such as the parallel computation of the resources is not achievable by the use of CPU. So to have a parallel computation, you have to use a GPU. To G- so the GPU costs a lot, but with the help of Azure VM machines or etc., you can easily create a GPU based models also. Apart from that, the you can also change yourself location. If you made a model but you want to change the model deployment, such as if you first made a model with the help of ChatGPT 3.5, but now you have a capacity or make you want to change the model with the help of with the ChatGPT 4 or 4 Omega, then you can easily change the model. You can deploy it, you can associate with your particular data set. You don't have to create a different hub, different project, and etc. You can just simply change or modify between the same model, and it is easier, and the model will going to work as same. But the computational power will be different for the chat GPT 4 and 3.5. Mm, Apart from that, the Azure services will also give you a Azure OpenAI also gives you integrate easily with the Azure services. The Azure services will be the same as I told you. Azure services are the virtual machines, database, SQL database, machine learning studio, computer vision, and etc. Let's just see. This is the computer vision. I have created the first CV app. Mm, Here are the things. Here is the key that you need for your Azure services to access. You can use the keys to associate it with your particular model. You can use it. This is the activity log you can use. You can check how what is going on, what is the activity that has been done, access control. You can also use the networking. Networking is basically you can connect your network. You can connect your AI service with different types of networks, such as the associated with different user partition, make it multiple users and etc. After that, you can also use the Azure AI ML things such as the Azure machine learning. Here I have a model already prepared. I have already made a model because when you are going to deploy, it is going to take almost 20 to 30 minutes. So when I so it will be easier if I showed you the model that is already created. This is the model. You can studio web URL. You can access this from here. You can check its log. As I said, you can also use the properties and matrices to make comparison between it. Here are the matrices, plot graph, plot multiple matrices, it is going to take a different tab, but you can make your custom dashboards and etc. Mm, here the see all. Let's just see. I've made a different thing. Resource group. Here are the things you can use, such as I have created an application inside Smart Detection. It is AI based machine learning model. You can use it from it. Let's see here, and I'm going to search it from here. Pipeline. Pipeline is basically the flow chart that I have shown you. You can create yourself a flow where how a model is going to perform based on your pipeline. You can split yourself data, and you can say how much fraction of data set the pipe, how much fraction of the data set that is going to be used for training, and how much it is going for the testing your data set. You can also use the as databases. You can upload yourself a file here, create a SQL database, and this database you can associate it with your Azure AI services, and you can also use this database for other such as virtual machines, machine learning models, and automated machine learning models. You can associate to everything. Because the Azure made a Azure the collection of different types of resources, and for the Azure AI Studio, this is the very thing you can use to make yourself a model. You just have to create yourself a new project, select yourself a model between various types of models such as the Llama, GPT, and etc. Or you can just compare the different models based on your data sets, and you can get yourself a model that distinguish yourself, that have a perception based on the needs you required. You can set yourself a prompt catalog, or you can have the pre-built predefined model catalog, or you can use Azure AI services, Azure OpenAI to train your data set on the different types of things. You can use ChatGPT 3.5, 3.4 as the chat playground. You just have to create yourself a resource assistant models. There are different AI services. You can also associate it, or you can integrate it with your model, speech, language, translate, use and document, and etc. Here are the documentations and videos that you can, if you have any problem, you can just read the documentation, watch a video, and your problems will going to be solved. And apart from that, there is nothing more. It is easier to navigate through the Azure AI Studio. It is a user-friendly thing. You can, here are some shortcuts you can use, such as the try some prompts, view deployment, build yourself AI assistant, get started in Azure Studio, and etc. The mm, thing with the Azure portal is that if you are having a Azure student account, you can use the Azure machine learning things, virtual machines, and etc. But it is restricted with the Azure AI services. To have Azure AI services, you have to use yourself a different subscription. I have such that I have is a Azure for Student Service subscription. You can get it from GitHub Students Pack, or you can just apply it using the. You can search on Google for Azure for Student, and you can submit yourself application there, and it is going to be made easily. But Azure, the main difference between the Azure for Student is that you get yourself $100 credit, which is somewhat less for the virtual machines and etc. Here you can check yourself a balance. Uh, you have to log in. Mm, let's leave it. Mm, With login, you can access yourself the subscription. You just have to create yourself a new subscription with the different name. Here's the thing: I have only $100 credit. You can see $6 used, and it is a sponsored one. So that is why you cannot use the Azure AI services. But to use the Azure services, you have to make yourself a account with the different thing. Let me just show you Azure subscription. You can create yourself a Azure subscription from here. Start free, or you can go pay as you go. Pay as you go is for business purposes. If you are doing a work that requires a lot of resources, you can go with the pay as you go. But for starter, you can use start here, and you just have to sign in. You get yourself a $200 credit, but you have to provide yourself a credit card, a debit card. You have to verify yourself, and you are going to have a this. This shows this because I already have a free account for Azure, so I'm only eligible for pay as you go subscription. But if you are going to do it for beginner, you can create yourself a Azure AI subscription. With that, you can use the Azure AI services, and with this, you can make yourself a particular model. You can make yourself a co-pilot, a model same as ChatGPT, a model same as Meta models, and you can create this model. You can also use this model to create anything, such as the you can use it for song generation and different types of things, because you have a Hugging Face repository which gives you an infinite potential for the different and worldwide repositories and models you can associate it with it. So that is it for the Azure AI Studio to build yourself a model, and you can easily build it with the help of this. So that's it.